Hey guys, Gatsu here. Now today I just kind of wanted to make a bit of a discussion video talking about how my views on subbed anime have changed. So if you've known me for a while, if you know me personally, I used to be very anti-subbed anime. I would only watch dubbed anime. And even if there was an anime that I really wanted to watch that only had a sub, I would just not watch it. For example, Kuroko's Basketball I've wanted to watch for a long time, but because there's no dub, I just haven't. Literally just because there was no dub. However, things for me started to change, and basically what was kind of the catalyst for that was when I got into Gundam. Now, Gundam, first off, Mobile Suit Gundam has a dub, perfect. I watched Gundam Thunderbolt, had a dub, perfect. So I was watching all this stuff and I was like, I want to watch everything Gundam, and I still want to watch everything Gundam. And I got to the point, I got to Gundam Double Zeta and I put the disc in. I have it here for visual representation. Gundam Double Zeta. I put the disc in just to find out there's no dub. There's no dub on the disc, there's no dub that exists, so I had to watch it subbed. Now, Gundam Double Zeta gets a bad rap. I actually quite enjoyed Double Zeta. I think it's about almost on par with Zeta. But that's irrelevant to the topic of this video. The topic of this video, basically, it was subbed, and I have to say I didn't hate it, basically. So it kind of opened my eyes to, obviously I would have much preferred if there was a dubbed. I would have probably enjoyed the show a bit more if there was a dub, but obviously there wasn't, so I watched it subbed. And I had a good time with it. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I actually think there were certain parts that were made maybe even slightly better by it being subbed, due to, like, you know, her jokes landing better and whatnot because of, you know, it being originally in Japanese. And so that's kind of how I started getting the ball rolling with watching subbed anime. I had previously watched subbed anime back in the day, like, occasionally. But, again, another example of when I wanted to watch something but didn't is Hunter x Hunter. It was still being dubbed and it was on UK Netflix, so it was perfect. You know, I could watch it. I have a look and they've got the full series. Perfect, but there's no dub. It's just a sub. So, yeah, I have still only seen the first 50 episodes of Hunter x Hunter because that was what was dubbed at the time of me watching it. And so, yeah. Anyway, so I moved on from Gundam Double Zeta, and it kind of opened my eyes a bit more. And then I found this film called The Little Norse Prince. Now, this is an old film. I believe it's around 1960. It's kind of like the first Ghibli film, pre-Ghibli almost. Like, there's a lot of people who worked on this who then went on to work for Studio Ghibli. And it's a very simple film, very kind of nostalgic animation as well. And in fact, watching this, so this has no dub, and I assume it's because it's so old, but watching this kind of actually, I feel that watching it sub kind of added something to it almost, where the charm of it and of it, you know, being of its time and being so old was kind of elevated by it being subbed. And I had a really nice time with this film. It wasn't that it, you know, was the most amazing film I've ever seen, but it was so enjoyable to kind of have that viewpoint into the past, almost, where you're seeing this old animation where it was just like a fun, enjoyable, old nostalgic animation kind of story about this young boy who goes on an adventure, you know, that typical kind of stuff. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. So those two things probably are what mostly opened my eyes to being kind of like, you know, I'll give subbed more of a chance. I still much prefer dubbed, and I will go out of my way to watch the dub if the dub exists. However, there are certain series that obviously have no dub. Now this brings me onto what has become one of my favourite anime. So, obviously, I collect anime, as you've seen in, like, previous videos. I will be doing an updated collection video soonish, because probably after Christmas, because, yeah, my collection has grown massively since my last video. But yeah, so I was kind of buying stuff on sale. There was a big clearance sale from MVM. And instead of checking, oh, does this have a dub, I just bought whatever caught my fancy. And there was one series in particular where my friend Harrison had been trying to get me to watch it for a long time, and for multiple reasons, one of which being that there was no dub, I hadn't watched it. And so I picked it up. This is a series called Blast of Tempest. Now, if you have heard of this and have seen it, congratulations. There's a lot of people that haven't seen it or haven't even heard of it. I hadn't heard of it for a long time. I love this series so much. So there is no dub, and I watched it. If you follow me on Twitter, you probably saw me tweeting about it quite a lot when I was watching it. This series is so good, so damn good. If you haven't seen this, Blast of Tempest, watch it. Even if you're like me and you prefer dubbed anime, give it a go, because it is so good. You may need to rewind a couple times like I did, because you can't read fast enough, because there's a lot of fast talking. There's a lot of like explaining and battle of the minds or whatever. But yeah, this series is crazy, so well crafted. The animation is so kind of beautiful, and there's specific fight scenes, especially in like the first kind of 10 episodes, where I was like, wow, that looks amazing. I got so hyped. So yeah, I mean, this has kind of turned into an advert for Blast of Tempest. Basically, watch Blast of Tempest. But yeah, this kind of was the complete turning point for me, where I was like, okay, I'll give anything a chance now. I'll try anything, because I tried this and it was amazing. This is like top 10 anime for me now, probably. Very good. And waifus. So hell yeah, that's always a plus. So yeah, Blast of Tempest, I watched that. One of my favourite series. And so currently, I'm watching a series called Matoi, the Sacred Slayer. The ratings for this aren't great, but I'm having a really good time with it. I'm enjoying it. It's subbed only, and I don't mind. I do get a bit worn out after watching sub for too long. As in, like, if I'm watching one sub-series and then another sub-series and so on and so forth, I do get a bit tired out. Between Blast of Tempest and this, I did watch a series called Active Raid, the first season anyway. I watched that sub because there is no dub. I watched that on Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll on PS4, the app is questionable. It didn't work for me very well. But yeah, so I watched that and I had fun with that as well, and that was subbed. So, you know, I've kind of turned a new leaf. I still much prefer dub, and I will still, you know, fight the corner of dub till the day I die. I'll still watch a dub if the dub's available over the sub, but I'm more open-minded now. I'm more open-minded to subbed anime. So yeah, my next series is Buso Shinki. This is like a waifu mech kind of series. It looks really cool. I wanted to watch it for a while, but didn't bother because no dub. But that's next up for me, and that is a subbed anime. So yeah, thanks for watching. This is kind of a bit of a rambly video, just talking about my experiences and telling a story of me watching anime, which could be really boring for some. But if you stuck through to the end, thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, leave a like. Comment what you think of sub to dub anime, if you prefer sub, if you prefer dub, and why. That would be really interested to hear your guys' opinion, and whether you had kind of a realization moment like I did, where, you know, I was blocking myself from watching some good stuff. So but yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.